Phil has recruited me and another guy. Now we are getting 3 people each. The more people that get involved, the more people who are investing, the more money we're all going to make. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not even a scheme per se. It's
So, online, every once in a while, either on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever, I see people who join these things called MLMs, and the story for them is pretty much always the same thing. They push whatever miracle product / items / whatever it is that they're selling like crazy, and nobody buys into it. They usually get told that it sounds a lot like a pyramid scheme, then they talk about how it isn't a pyramid scheme because that's illegal and they're a boss babe and what they do isn't illegal and it's totally fine, and just join their downline so they can finally start making some money and pay off these hundreds of dollars that they've wasted. Ultimately, they seem to end up wasting a lot of money on these things, and if they're smart, they'll get out early, and if they're not so smart, they end up keeping up that hustle in hopes that one day they'll be able to take a picture of themselves next to a car that may not be theirs, and it may not be the company's. It might just be a nice car they found, or it might just be a lease that the company gave to them because they managed to sucker enough people into their scam. That's basically the nitty-gritty of what an MLM is, but I'm gonna keep talking some more about these MLMs. So firstly, what does MLM stand for? Well, it stands for multi-level marketing. And how exactly does it work? Well, for starters, you pay sometimes a few $100s to a company in order to get some stock, and then you sell that stock because you're a distributor now. Fun fact about the word distributor, it doesn't mean you own the company. So, no Karen, you didn't start your own company because, let's be honest, you didn't buy It Works for $200. You gave It Works $200 so that you could go out there and sell some of their garbage products. And also another fun fact is that it doesn't work. I didn't try it, but if you have to put in the name of the company that it works, then there's a pretty good chance that it doesn't do anything. So typically you get roped into one of these things by hearing this story that sounds way too good to be true, about how you could be making a ton of cash from home by only working on your phone in your bed, and really, that sounds amazing, but, let's be honest, when something sounds too good to be true, then yeah, it usually is too good to be true, and you should realize that it is and get out of there. But let's say that you've just been recruited as one of these downline people. What does that mean, you might ask? Well, in one of these MLMs, you're not just making money by buying stock and then reselling it. You're making money by recruiting people to sell, and the more that they sell, the more that you end up making. That's what you call your downline. So you recruit people to be your downline, then they buy more garbage, and they sell the garbage, then a percentage of that garbage money that they make gets sent up to you, and so on and so forth. Now, if you're wrapped up in one of these, don't worry. Even though you're the downline of someone else, you can and will often be pressured into recruiting more people so that they can become your downline, and you've got yourself a really nice triangular shape going. We got one person who recruited a couple people, and then those couple people recruited a couple people, and yeah, it looks a lot like a triangle, and sort of like a pyramid even, some might say. See, the people above you, your upline, they want to make some money because who wouldn't want to make money? But the only way that they can make more money is by recruiting more people so that those people can sell more stuff, and then ultimately you as the upline can make more money. So how does recruiting work? Well, after you've annoyed all of your close friends and family and pushed them all away from ever talking to you until you're done with this crazy thing, you can reach out to all those people that you haven't spoken to since high school and send them these emoji-filled messages about how they look great, but they could look even better by using their product. Or maybe they look like they're desperate for some cash and they might want to join your side hustle where you can help them make money. All they have to do is spend a couple $100, but they could be making money. Maybe. Another fun fact I found while Googling is that for every 1,000 people who join an MLM, only 3 of them will actually make more money than they actually spend. So yeah, if you enjoy spending a bunch of money that you'll never see again on a bunch of ugly leggings, well, this might be the career for you. Now, unfortunately myself, I've never been asked to join one of these side hustles, and if you're a guy, odds are you haven't been asked either. As a matter of fact, thinking back on it, the only people who I've ever seen join an MLM or mention that somebody talked to them about one are women, and that's because the entire industry seems to mostly target women. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And mainly from what I end up seeing is that it's young, naive women, mothers, wives, military wives, that kind of stuff. People who seem like they may want to earn an extra bit of money on the side, but also want it to be flexible to do it on their own time. Because either, they're in school and they've got bills to pay, or they've got a house to take care of, or a family to take care of, and they don't want work to become their life, they just want some extra money. And that's understandable, because I'm a student and all I want is extra money and not to have to eat another cup of noodles. It also doesn't help that a lot of their products are geared towards women. I'm not saying that it never happens to guys, but I've never had the honor of calling myself a boss babe, and neither have most guys that I know. So that is something that does really suck about MLMs. Oftentimes, it's pretty vulnerable people who get targeted for these things. People who seem to maybe struggling financially, or maybe it's people on a Facebook page who are trying to help each other lose weight, and then all of a sudden this person comes in with some miracle laxative coffee that'll help you lose it all, but all you have to do is give them a bunch of money and talk about how great it is, even though it isn't great. But to me, all of this makes it seem like the people who are on top are really, at the end of the day, just awful people. Because sure, you're making money and you're a boss babe and you've got this amazing hustle, and it's not even a side hustle anymore because you don't need a job. But if you're ever at that point where you're making so much money that you don't need to work and this MLM becomes your life, that just means that you've suckered in a bunch of gullible people to giving you money. And that just sucks because you're screwing over people and you're tricking them into spending money and wasting it on the snake oil that nobody wants. So I don't know, I'd rather be broke than screw over a bunch of people.